all you really need is 1080p. So, you know, you don't really need 4K. 4K is great because when you shrink it down, it looks really sharp. And we'll get into this in a minute. So anyway, I created this simple site, and like I said, all you can see right now are off to the left-hand side. You can see the lists of the collections, or what I call the catalog, and then on the main screen you see the images for the various collections. Now, there's not really a lot there, but if you go to PrestoShop.com, you can see what I'm doing so far. And you can see that I created a pretty nice little logo. I used Canva, C-A-N-V as in Victor, A as in Alpha, to create, well, I used Canva to get the picture of the bird, and I used Photoshop. I used, like I said last week, I've subscribed to the Adobe Creative Cloud thing, which gives me access to Photoshop and Adobe Audition and Adobe Premiere and a whole bunch of other stuff, all from Adobe. $50 a month. It ain't too bad. Well, I think it's 52 something. Anyway, it's more than worth it. But then, of course, my main computer, decided to die on me. So, so now, I mean, it just all of a sudden went dark and started going boop, 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 boop. And I thought, well, this is not good. So I shut it down and I waited for, a good half hour or so. I thought, well, okay, whatever it was, maybe maybe the computer was too hot, you know. And so I waited until it felt cool, and, half hour, 45 minutes or something like that. And I went to turn it on, and still blank screen going boop, 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 boop. So back to the shop that sucker goes. I mean, I just had a new motherboard, or I should say logic board, because it's an Apple iMac. And so, I mean, that was just a couple of weeks ago. So off to the shop it goes this weekend. Now back to the whole issue of building this site. Shopify is very, very easy to set up, okay? And what I'm doing is creating a shop that's, some products are coming from, a wide variety of manufacturers, okay? They will be coming from a wide variety of manufacturers, but nothing from China. Now, the reason I'm avoiding China is because, thanks to the fear of the Chinese selling us products, Donald Trump decided to start a trade war, which has killed about 1 million online businesses in the United States. And that pretty much throws 1 million people out of work. And his supporters think this is a good thing because it's more important that 1 million people be out of work than Chinese manufacturers make $1. This speaks to a group of people who really do not understand that we live in, for better or worse, a global community. And we need to find ways to work within that global community, not just try running around and bullying people when we don't get things the way we want. Now, a lot of the larger corporations are losing money because of this. And they don't really care that those of us who are not millionaires and billionaires happen to need these programs to, well, put food on the table. You know, keep a roof over our head, that sort of thing. They don't care about that. All they care about is themselves. So when Donald Trump says they're hurting our business, what he's saying is they're hurting him. He cares more about the millionaires and billionaires than he does about the million Americans that all told are bringing in $30 to $50 billion a year in home businesses, just like we're talking about building right now. Now, there are a couple of other ways you can build a home business. Like I said, there is drop shipping. There is the more traditional form of business where you buy merchandise and you bring it to your home and then you sell it online. Then there is the type of business where you buy parts, say, and you bring them to your home and you put them together and you sell the finished product online. A lot of artists like myself have done this routinely. You know, we order the paints online, we order the canvas, and then we go down to yon local store where they sell lumber, and we bring that home, and then we cut it up to make the frames, and we stretch the canvas and tack that in with a staple gun, and we begin to paint. You know, some people like pre-gessoed stuff, and they begin painting right away. Other people, like myself, like an extra coat or two of gesso because they like a very smooth surface to paint on. And so they'll put on a coat of gesso, like I do, and then when that dries, begin painting. And painting, of course, is a process. You paint in terms of layers. And anyway, that's another form of business where you're making, you buy the products you need to make a product. Some people buy jewelry parts and put those together. I suppose you could buy model kits on the cheap, put those together, and sell the completed model, because, you know, there are people who collect things like ships in a bottle, or just large detailed sailing ships, you know, as decorations for their home. You could do that too. And then, of course, there is print on demand. Print on demand is where you literally create a design and you use a company like T-Launch or Printful or one of these other companies, and they take your design and they put it on a t-shirt or a bag or whatever, and then as the product is ordered on your store, they print it. Now, I know another woman who she actually physically buys the t-shirts and makes them herself, and her niche is a little bit more refined. She tells people, you know, I'll put whatever you like on a t-shirt, which is very cool. If you wanted, you know, like Mary's birth, Mary is cool, or John is great, or something like that, something very personal on a t-shirt, well, she'll do that. And this is another form of doing business, and you can do that online too. And then, of course, there are the blogs, that to say the video blogs, and the podcasters, which I'm doing right now. Now, all of those three, the blogs, the podcasters, and the video blogs, or blogs, require that you have some way of making money. Something that's connected to your site that gets money. And for this, what you can do is you can go to companies online and they will literally pay you to put advertisements on your website. And you can build a website very, very easily these days, especially if you're using WordPress. And what happens is somebody clicks on something, and if they buy it, then you get a piece of the action. And sometimes you get a piece of the action, like, a few pennies, simply because they clicked on the link. So you have that option too, to make money online. So there's lots of ways you can make money online. And, you can promote these things through a variety of different ways. My chosen way is a way that's, I think, is better than paying for ads on Facebook. Now, I'm not going to say that Facebook ads are not any good, because a lot of people have made a ton of money by advertising products and online businesses using Facebook. But let's face it, you can spend an awful lot of money too. You can spend thousands of dollars before you find out how to reach the customers that you really need to reach. And I don't know about you, but I don't happen to have thousands of dollars. So I'm not really wild about Facebook. I want to know exactly who it is that my customer is for. I want to know how to reach them. And I want to be guaranteed that anybody, and I mean anybody, who clicks on a link or even sees that link is going to be interested in buying something, or at least has a high percentage of chance that they will. I don't need looky-loos, tire kickers, or whatever you want to call them. So I try to think in terms of how are we going to reach those people. And that's why I like YouTube ads. And that's why I'm working on the website. And as soon as I get this website ready, and like I said, you can look at what I'm doing so far, but there's really no products there other than, just images that you can order. But within the next week or two, we'll start getting some products up, and you can, so that you can advertise. And if you have any questions about how to go about doing this, please don't hesitate to ask. Go to ProDreamers.com and contact me. Leave an email. Just go to the contact button and leave some feedback. And I seriously do. I have responded to every single bit of contact, usually within a day or two, that has come through. And so, don't worry about it. Unless you're swearing at me or something, I will respond. I don't respond very well to name calling. You can ask anybody. I'm willing to bet that you probably don't either. Well, I guess I'm about out of time now. So, tune in next week, won't you? You've been listening to the Professional Dreamers Podcast, and I'm your host, Jennifer Warren. I will be on here every week, every Sunday, same batty time, same wacky channel. We are on iTunes, Google Play, and YouTube. I was asked about Stitcher, and I promised to look into that. I don't know if I'm on Stitcher or not, to be frank. But if I am, then tune in there. Okay, that's the show, and I and